What is going on, everyone? It's been a while since I did my last class setup video. It was kind of more near towards the beginning of the game, so I'm going to give you guys an updated class setup video. So in my first class set, these are going to be my search and destroy classes, and my second class set, these are my respawn classes, and they'll change up a little bit, but I'll explain that. But first, let's start off the search and destroy classes. Before, it was all Vesper and stuff like that before the Vesper got nerfed. But now it's a little bit different. First class, this is basically just your slaying class. VMP, quick draw, grip, long barrel, afterburner, fast hands, dead silence, and blast suppressor. Obviously, dead silence and blast suppressor are going to be a staple for all these classes, except maybe one. I think I usually use tac mask on this one, trying to run and gun. Okay, on to my next class. This is my only AR class, and I've kind of tweaked a little bit with the M8 to see what's best with it, and since it got nerfed a little bit to kind of even out once the Vesper got nerfed, I use grip on it now. Before, grip used to be like the worst thing to use on the M8, but now grip actually helps a lot. I was testing it out just shooting by myself on Fringe and looking at the recoil just by the bullet marks, and grip actually helps a lot more now, and whenever I'm using it I can honestly feel the difference. So anyways, if you want to mess around with it, maybe you could throw in quick draw instead of grip. Stock, I kind of like stock on all my M8s. I know some people don't use stock, but you can also put in long barrel here or put in quick draw depending on what you want to do. RK5 just for those close range situations. Afterburner, that's not really that much needed. You can kind of take that off and put it wherever you want if you want to lead through a tactical. I like it on my M8 class though, just so you can pop up and hit people from far away. Fast hands, that's just if you're running and trying to switch to the RK5. It's good it's good so you don't get caught in a gunfight in a 1v1, especially if they have a VMP. But dead silence and blast suppressor, obviously. Let's move on to the next class. I use this class a lot in a lot of different situations. I'll throw some footage in at the end that shows some situations where I use these. But trophy and frag, I had a Semtex on because frag was banned in the last game I was playing. And then quick draw and grip, no secondary. Trophy's really useful considering so many people throw stuns and flashes, and it's so important to have blast suppressor and dead silence. So instead of having to run tac mask, you can just use this. So especially if you're defending, you can just throw it down and it covers you pretty well. A lot of people throw nades at the spawn. If you just throw this in the right spot, it can completely cover you. Afterburner, fast hands, kind of keep it the same with the perks. Kind of just my preference, but you can change it up if you want. Throw cold-blooded if you want. Frag, that's just because if you know the right spots, then you can actually get an easy pick. And plus, it's good if you're trying to throw it at the bomb. If you're kind of pinned down, it's a good option. Okay. This is another class I use a lot on maps like Redwood and Fringe. Same exact attachments, quick draw and grip, and then same perks. The only difference is I have a smoke, and the smoke can be really useful if you just know where to throw it. So for example, on Redwood, if you throw it middle, there's a lot of good spots that you can get to. If you want to see my Redwood search and destroy tip video, I'll link it because this kind of ties into that. And also you can use it just to cover a push. You can use it to throw it at head glitches so that they can't really see you and you can get towards them, like on Fringe. I do that a lot. And then my last class, this is another class that is really important. Same exact thing, same attachments, same perks. The only difference is I use 2 flashes, and you can also sub this in for 2 stuns, depending on what your preference is. Because if you're playing against really good people, stuns are probably better because they can still get away if they have good movement, even if they can't see. But if you're playing against people that aren't as good, then you can use flashes and just completely throw off like what they're seeing. It's pretty much an easy kill. But anyways, those are my search and destroy classes. Let's move on to the respawn classes. These are a little bit different just because respawn I usually play ban protect. But anyways, let's go on to my first AR class. And this is kind of a weird preference I have. I kind of have 2 classes with literally 1 attachment difference. This M8 class and this M8 class. And if you're in ban protect, then usually what happens is we'll ban tacticals, so stuns and flashes, and just use blast suppressor, so you won't have to use tac mask. But if not, you can use tac mask in this. Blast suppressor I prefer for uplink. But anyways, stock, long barrel, and grip. Sorry, I almost said quick draw. This is for more of long range gunfights. Like for example, if you're on Fringe and you're in the barn, you can basically pick people off with this. It has like no recoil. The long barrel helps you get those easy kills. So for hardpoint, Fringe, anything where you really need a long range distant battle, and you're not going to really be running into a lot of people close range, this is a really good class. So I'll usually start off with this class right off the rip in hardpoint or an uplink, get those long range shots, and then afterburner, fast hands, blast suppressor, RK5 for close range. And then I want to talk about this class next just because it's the same exact thing. The only difference is instead of long barrel I have quick draw. So once that first rip happens after the beginning of a hardpoint game, it kind of becomes more of like an AR slang role for what my role is. But basically what I like to do is instead of long barrel I'll throw this on, and it makes it a lot easier to win your gunfights close range. So medium to close range you definitely would need quick draw. It helps a lot. If the team isn't as good, you can probably get away with keeping the long barrel on and just see how it goes. But I like being prepared and switching on my classes halfway through the game. Alright, let's move on to the Manowar. So I use it with ELO, stock, long barrel, and grip. And like I said before, you can take off long barrel, throw on quick draw, just your preference. Same exact perks, and then the RK5 is the secondary. MR6 is also a good alternate. I know that they were switching around the fire rate of that. They patched it, and then I think they fixed it. But anyways, just use what you're comfortable with. I know you can use the LCAR 2 in game battles, but it's banned on UMG. But anyways, Manowar, I like this gun just because some maps it's more close range, and this can definitely beat the M8 at a close range map. For example, Breach. This is probably I would rather prefer this to a M8 on Breach, just because on Breach it feels like it's hard to get kills because there's so many like little cover things that cut off the lines of sight. There's so many like close range encounters. But Manowar definitely is a gun that can hold its own and respawn. VMP, this is kind of just like your Russian class if you're trying to break the hill. I have a smoke and a Semtex. If you have a smoke, then you can just pop that in a doorway, and then 2 or 3 of your teammates can just burst through the door. It's really easy for breaking a hill. Not a lot of people use this, and it's actually a really good tactic. VMP, quick draw, grip, long barrel, kind of just like your slaying class, and then same exact perks all the way around the board. Semtex is just to throw at the hill. It's another thing to throw them off. So this is the ideal breaking the hill class. If you're more the person who holds the hill, you can replace this with a trophy, or you can just run double trophies without a Semtex. But it's really up to you. Okay, I already talked about this class, and then my last class is the ICR with stock and long barrel, double EMPs, and LCAR. You can take off this ICR if you want. This is kind of just like my EMP class for when you really need like those emergency EMPs for like if they have streaks, if they have a Cerberus, a Guardian, anything like that. I just threw an ICR on. Plus, if it's band protect, then I like having a few guns so I don't have to switch up too much stuff. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. These are really my preferences, but if you use this as a template and you change it up, then you can make some really nice classes. If you just think it through, then these can come in really good for the situations. I'll throw in some gameplay at the end to show you guys some situations. If you want to see my S&D tactics video for Redwood, I'll also link that in. That's a really good video. I'm going to be putting up some more S&D tactics videos. I've got some footage that I've just got to edit. Just been busy lately. But anyways,